How is Gwen today? Loyalist Kingdom. My name's Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
For Dwayne and Jazz, here we have for you Academy
Anecdotes.
I had never seen that word in my life.
You should
School
have.
stories. I ain't never did.
You should have in
By
college.
TheOdd1sOut.
You should have in college.
If you guys have any reactions, please follow us on all social media links below. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive on in.
I have never
Frederick,
seen it.
what you doing?
I
Oh, hello,
haven't.
brother of mine. Why, I'm just studying for a math test tomorrow. That's pretty neat, Frederick. Braxton, brother, shouldn't you also be studying for the test?
No.
Well, you see, Frederick, due to my high levels of apathy and the stress of knowing that I'll never be good at math, I've decided to completely give up on even trying to do good on the test. So, what are you gonna do instead? Oh, I'm just gonna go watch some YouTube videos. School sucks.
Yes, it does.
Especially math. Ugh. When will I ever
you
use
like math?
geometry
Yeah.
slash trigonometry slash calculus in the real world? I think you're only saying that because you're bad at geometry slash trigonometry slash calculus. Why is everyone so quick to hate on math? Math is
I just
easy.
don't like
How
it.
many essays did you have to write for math class? Oh, that's right.
Oh, none.
E to the I pi plus 1.
Right,
Which
but
is zero.
Zero.
One thing I would change about math class is I
What?
think it's
True.
dumb that you have to show your work. Ugh.
I
You know
hate
how much
that.
harder it is to cheat when you have to show your work?
Yes.
Do math. Solve your own problems, tweeted Matt Pat. I hate Matt, replied Protato Gamer. Hey, that's not very nice of you, Prote. All he did was tweet about math. Maybe what you really hate is spelling. Or maybe you really do hate Matt Pat. Well, two can play at this game. When will I ever need to know about the themes and symbolisms in To Kill a Mockingbird when I go into the real world? That's right. You don't need to know anything to be in
We had
the
to read
real
that.
world.
I know.
Okay, I think we can all agree.
I forgot
that a lot
all
of
about
what
But I
school
didn't know.
teaches you
I just
isn't
used
that
Spark
important.
Notes.
And there's definitely more important things schools could be teaching you. Like
taxes.
or how to pick a good president. But I'm not the one who makes the curriculum, so why am I even
Jeez.
talking about it?
Right, taxes.
Regardless of how broken your
And credit.
education system is, you should always stay in school, kids. Right, Dave?
I remember that video we did of him.
Yeah.
About staying in school.
Whoa.
Okay.
I
Whoa.
was a good student in school, not counting college. And look how I turned out. I'm not using everything I learned in school almost every day. Sure, you'll probably never need to know that much about Shakespeare's plays.
No,
but,
not
hey,
really.
Now you know how to read old-timey complicated books.
Yeah,
And
Jesus
no,
Christ.
Oh,
Oh my
Lord.
Never have to
God.
find the area
I had that
curve
book
ever,
that, like,
but now you can say
translated
that
it on the
you
other
can.
page.
And isn't that what life's
I
all
didn't.
about? So enough with this introduction. I'm going to be telling you all some of my school stories.
Shakespeare was the worst.
What do you mean
God.
Jaden already made a video on school stories?
Oh.
Did she call them school stories? I already stole from her like 2 videos ago. Okay, I'll think of something. So enough with this introduction.
Anecdotes.
I'm going to be telling you all some of my Academy Anecdotes. So you know how guys can
I've been
pee
saying
standing up?
anecdotes.
It's amazing.
Look, my
Ladies,
teacher
if
said
you've never peed
anecdotes.
standing up, then you're missing out.
And
But
not
there are some
anecdotes.
rules that apply
So
to
don't
having
blame
a
me.
superpower. Like, don't go to a urinal right next to another guy unless it's absolutely necessary.
Oh my
Or
God,
if
yes.
urinals don't have a divider, then everyone can all agree to keep your eyes and mind straight. These rules have been taught to us at a very young
true?
age. By the time we were in
Okay.
elementary school, we were all pros at peeing. Except for some of us when we were asleep. But that's not important. So at this point in
Lord.
I didn't
life,
pee
we
the
all
bed ever.
should have known what we were
Lucky
doing.
you.
But
Then-
there's this one kid who I guess no one ever taught him how to pee correctly. This kid, I'm not going to say his race because it doesn't matter, but when he went to the bathroom, he would pull his pants and underwear all the way down to the ground. Some of the ladies watching this might be thinking, wait, is that not how guys pee? Ladies,
No,
you'll
I
just
just
have
know
to
that
trust
y'all
me on
don't.
this, but that is the most wrong way a person can pee. The first time I saw the kid doing this was when I was in the urinal right next to him.
Oh,
You
no.
bastard! As us 2 bros were peeing, a 3rd bro walked into the bathroom, saw this kid's bottom, and just went, ooh, and walked out of the bathroom. I wish I could have done the same. How do you tell someone, hey man, when you pee
I don't
like
want to
that,
see your butt.
everyone can see your butt. So just, here, let me show you how to do it. I don't know what happened to that kid, but I think he would agree with me that
Here, let me
math
see how to
is
do
easy.
No.
He was Asian. When I was little, I had a very weird sense of humor. So in the 5th grade, there was this girl I'd known for a long time. We weren't strangers or anything. And one day I said to her, you have 2 big blue zits right there. And I pointed at her eyes. I was talking about her eyes. I
That's
called her
cute.
eyes zits. Get it? She, immediately slapped me. Probably
Oh,
because
I
the
got
joke
it.
was so awful. And that was the first time I ever got slapped by someone who wasn't a family member. And yes, it was
Aw.
Priscilla, the girl I sat next to in the cardboard boat video. She claims that the slap was an accident and that she was just trying to fake slap me to scare me. But I think
But
she
he
was
didn't
really just
move out the
self-conscious
way.
about her eye zits. One time, my 6th grade teacher, who was the same height as all of us, threw a stapler across the room because we wouldn't stop talking. Here's an anecdote about the first time I got detention, and it isn't that exciting. I was in the 7th grade, and our class was at a computer lab. And the kid sitting next to me, his race doesn't matter, so I'm not going to say it, Asian, kept changing the computer wallpapers to cats, and he kept showing me. To be fair, I thought what he was doing was hilarious. Then I asked him, can you change the background to Chuck Norris? That just goes to show you how long ago this story took place.
Yes, everybody was talking about
I
Chuck
laughed,
Norris.
but then the teacher said, who's changing the wallpapers? She was able to see everyone's screens from her computer.
Oh,
the
that
kid
sucks.
said, me and James were. Dude, don't bring me into this.
Right.
You were the one changing the wallpapers. I mean, I was involved a little, but don't drag me down with you. We ended up getting detention, except my school didn't call it detention. They called it CARE, which I'm sure was an acronym for something. If it wasn't an acronym, that would have been a weird thing to call detention. Let's just say it stood for Kids Are Really Extra. The whole time I was in CARE, I kept thinking in my head, don't cry, don't
Why do
cry,
they call
don't
it
cry.
CARE?
If they see you cry, you might as well move to China. And that was the only time I got detention. Except it wasn't called detention. So I still have a clean record. Alright, here's the last anecdote. This one happened when I was in the 11th grade. I was in an AP US history class, and I had it for a 0 hour. So that meant I was at the class before school even started, and I was way too tired to learn about presidents. I was sitting in class when all of a sudden I sneezed very loudly. And it was an above average sneeze. One of those sneezes where you had to lean into it. And after I sneezed, this kid near me said, hey, yo, Mr. Teacher, can we get some tissues? This boy's got a bloody nose. And I thought, oh shoot, I do? Well, that sneeze was pretty violent, and I did pick my nose a few minutes ago. And then the teacher looked right at me and said, oh yeah, you can just go to the bathroom. So I got up, and as I was walking to the door, I felt my face and realized, wait a minute, I don't have a bloody nose. I turned around, and there was a kid who actually did have a bloody nose walking towards me. I'm not going to say the race of the kid because it doesn't matter.
He's going to say it.
Canadian, but I was in a pretty awkward situation. So I punched myself until I actually did get a bloody nose. Nah, I'm just kidding. What I really did was I said out loud, I have to go to the bathroom too. And then I left. I didn't really have to go to the bathroom. I didn't want to see another exposed butt anyway, so I just waited outside awkwardly for a long time. I got an A in that class, by the way, if you were wondering. I still don't use anything I learned in that class. Before
I don't think
begin this
anybody
card,
does.
I just want to say that I got some brand new shirts and sweatshirts up in the
we
merch
had our
store
merch,
just
you know.
in time for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's gone now,
Look how
but
snazzy those
It's coming
shirts
back
look.
next month.
Don't you just want to buy them?
In November.
yeah.
So, have you ever gotten in trouble at school? Like put in like detention or put in some type
I
of
know
punishment?
I was mad because I never got suspended or I never got in trouble, even though I did bad things. Don't be Dwayne.
You just got away with it.
But what was it? It was like we had an earthquake in Maryland.
I
Right.
remember that. If y'all are in the DMV, it don't happen, so I know you remember.
Yeah, we had this
It wasn't even that much. It wasn't that powerful, but
I thought somebody. It felt like somebody was walking on the ceiling. That's what it for me in my school. It felt like somebody was walking on the ceiling because people was doing construction up there, and we were like, God, dog, like what the heck are they doing up there?
I saw that TV shake. I was gone. I dipped.
So
I was out.
So what happened was, earlier that day, the teacher saw me. I had my iPad, my little mini iPod, and I was bumping my music. Then she was like, "Hey, you!" I hit the incognito and slipped away, and so I think they had the evacuation thing, so everybody was in this little football field area, and my dad hit me up, and then he was like, "I'm over the gate," and they come over there. And she was trying to tell me not to go to my dad. And I said, he's right over there in the car. And I said, I'm not going to, I said, she was like, you cannot go. You cannot go. I said, and I couldn't contact, right, and I couldn't contact my mom.
Okay.
So me and my dad called her mom. We can't get in contact with her. So I'm like, this is an emergency situation. So I left. And then the next day she said I was suspended for a day. And my parents came and was like, how you gonna suspend him for a day?
going to his parents.
Yeah, for suspending him for a day, blah blah blah, because he had his iPod out and he didn't give it to me, and I was like,
that's not a suspension.
Right. I'm like, huh?
That's just you giving it to the teacher at most.
She wasn't a teacher. She was like one of those little administrator, like a vice principal administrators that be in the hall. She was pressed, boy.
Oh my God,
nobody liked it because she was pressed. Give me your phone. Give me your, like, bruh. So that was my story, and so I was chilling at home that day with my feet up watching TV with my parents.
That's stupid. Well, I got in trouble for something stupid too.
What?
So in middle school, I would call it jail because it was. We were like inmates. So at school, our lunch we had to be sit boy girl boy girl.
Mm-hmm. You said girl girl.
Huh?
You said girl like with your friends.
No.
Oh.
But if there
That
was
sucks,
like
though. Girl,
yeah,
okay.
you have to sit boy girl, and if you sit with another, like say I'm a girl and I have another girl directly next to me, she can't sit there. She'll get in trouble. I don't know, but it's a jail, like I said. So they will make you, like if you have more girls in your class than boys, you have to leave that seat next to you empty, and then have the next seat a girl. Like it didn't have that bench. We didn't have those long bench like tables. We had the ones that had it was a bench, like a wooden table, but the seats were like little circles, so they would know if you're sitting next to it. But anyway, yeah, we had a stoplight that was in the cafeteria, like a literal, like it looks like a traffic street light, like red, green, red, yellow, green. So red means we weren't allowed to talk, yellow means be ready to shut up, and then green means you could talk whenever. So red came on whenever you were entering the cafeteria, so it means you were not allowed to talk. Then while you were eating your lunch, green light comes on, so you're allowed to talk. Then when it's towards the end of lunch, it goes to yellow, then it goes to red. And if you're caught on red and you're talking or you say any word, you have to go sit up on the little stage, and you're in trouble, and you have to take your phone number down and call your parents, and then you got to do lunch duty, wipe down the tables, take up the trash and all that stuff. So on one time, somebody asked me for a napkin on red light. I said, here. They said, you go to the stage. And I was just looking at them like, no. What? And then so I said, I'm giving her, and I never talked at this point, by the way. And I was like, I'm giving her a napkin. And then he was like, you talk, like, don't you see that red light? And then I was just like, so I just got up and I sat on the stage, and then that's when everybody, because everybody knew I never got in trouble, so they were like, oh, Jasmine's on the stage. Oh, what'd she do? Oh, Jasmine's on the stage. Right. So I just sat there, and then I had to give my parents' phone number, and then the school, of course, got in trouble because she was like, why did you get in trouble? And then I was like, because I gave someone a napkin. She was like, are you serious? I was like, yes.
So your mom came up to school?
No, but they called her, and then yeah, that happened, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I'm like, what type of school is that? I'm like, yeah, I have a red light.
And we had uniforms.
Right, that's definitely the jail.
So that's jail, I consider.
So
the jail was all. I mean, I said the jail was hidden. The school was all hidden. It was in a. I'm not gonna say the name of the school, but the school was in a neighborhood. But like the backyard, like the back of the school where you had to go to play recess, it was all covered by trees and like a big old fence, so it looked like it was jail. So.
That looked like, I ain't never heard of that. Red light, green light, you have to be quiet. My joke was like, oh.
And on parent-teacher night, they never tried to discuss what that little traffic light was. It's huge.
They never did?
They never did. You know how like administrators and teachers always act fake?
Yeah.
So like whenever like the assemblies would happen in there and the parents were there, they would never address that little green light. So I told my parents that day when I got mad, I was like, you know that little stoplight that's in the cafeteria? And I was like, yeah. I said, that's for us to shut up. And then my mom was like, what? I said, yes. I said, they're not going to mention it.
Did she go back to school and ask them about it?
No. But I mean, one parent can't really do anything.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm like, you not gonna tell this ain't no traffic. This ain't no red light, green light.
Yeah, so if it was on red, that means we had to be quiet. And if I said one word, I was in trouble, and I had to wipe down tables and all that stuff. So. That's a good story, Tom. I wish you could have animated that. Like, I probably will one day.
Yeah.
But anyway, people that knew me know that I'm not lying.
Yeah.
So
anyway, guys, please comment below.
Don't forget to like,
subscribe.
share.
More.